I don't talk about that night much. Not 'cause I don't remember. I remember every damn second. The cold sweat. The smell of damp wood. That thing scratching at the floorboards beneath me. It was 2009, late September. I'd just moved into my granddad's old farmhouse in rural Georgia, out near a little place called Jasper. The land was wide, overgrown, and still. Nobody lived near me for at least 2 miles. Just woods, silence, and something else. I was fixing the place up to sell. Stayed out there alone. Figured I'd save money instead of driving back and forth from Atlanta. Seemed smart at the time. The first night was uneventful. Dusty air, creaky floorboards, and an old oil heater that made the house feel like a coffin with a heartbeat. But the second night, that's when it started. Around 2 in the morning, I woke up to the sound of footsteps above me. Now, let me paint you a picture. This house didn't have an upstairs. Just the attic. A crawl space, really. No one could walk up there unless they were half the size of a grown man. At first I thought maybe a raccoon or some other animal had gotten in. But these weren't the sounds of a critter. They were slow, measured, like boots dragging across the wood, as if someone didn't want to wake me, but couldn't help the weight of their own steps. I froze. Stayed in bed, staring at the ceiling, my breath shallow. Then I heard the thud. Not from above, from the hall. Someone, or something, was in the house. I sat up, heart racing. Reached for the flashlight beside the bed, but it wasn't there. I remembered I'd left it on the kitchen counter. I cursed myself under my breath. The old farmhouse didn't have good lighting. Just a few yellow bulbs and one flickering ceiling light in the hall. I slid off the bed and grabbed the bat I kept leaning by the door. Always had it near me since the house felt off from the beginning. I crept out of the room. The hallway was empty. Still. The front door was locked. Deadbolts still turned. Windows shut. Nothing looked touched. But the basement door was open. And I never opened that basement. Not once. I didn't even have the key. It was sealed shut with an old chain and padlock when I moved in. I figured my granddad kept it that way for a reason. But now the chain was lying on the floor. Snapped. Like someone had ripped it apart. I remember whispering to myself, "What the hell?" My voice cracked when I said it. I should have left right then. Should have run to my truck and never looked back. But I didn't. I needed answers. Needed to see. So I grabbed the flashlight from the kitchen, took a deep breath, and walked down those stairs. The air changed the second I crossed that threshold. It was colder down there. Heavy. Like I was walking underwater. The flashlight flickered, and I swear for a second I saw a figure at the bottom of the steps. A shadow, hunched, still, facing away. But when the light came back on, it was gone. I stepped onto the basement floor. Dirt, not concrete. Roots sticking out of the walls. The smell was foul, like rotting leaves and something metallic. There was a door down there I hadn't seen before. Old red painted wood, covered in carvings. Strange ones, like symbols scratched in with something sharp. I felt my hand reaching for the knob like I wasn't in control of it. I touched it, and that's when I heard the whisper, right by my ear. "Don't." I spun around. No one. But I felt something, like breath on my neck. My heart felt like it would beat out of my chest. And then, from behind the door, I heard it. Crying. A child. Soft, broken sobs. Like they'd been down there a long, long time. I don't know what got into me, but I pulled the door open. There was a room, hidden behind it. Small, no windows. Just a mattress on the floor, rotted blankets, and bones. So many bones. Small ones, like they belonged to children. There were old toys too. Dolls with faces rubbed off, Wooden cars with missing wheels. One bear, with its eyes stitched shut. I stumbled back. My flashlight hit the ground and went out. That's when I heard it again. The sobbing had stopped, but not the breathing. Heavy, wet, right behind me. I turned slowly and saw a figure in the darkness, too tall to be human, arms long, dragging on the floor. Its face, covered with a burlap sack, stitched shut where the eyes should be, mouth wide open, but stitched at the corners like someone tried to force a smile. It crawled toward me. I ran up those stairs so fast I nearly broke my ankle. I slammed the door and shoved the couch in front of it. Called 911, but the call kept dropping. Static. Every time I tried to speak, I'd hear a voice. Not mine. You shouldn't have opened it. I spent the rest of the night with my back against the door, holding that bat, whispering prayers I hadn't said since I was a kid. By morning, the door was shut, chain wrapped neatly around it again, like it had never been broken. The cops showed up hours later. I told them everything. They didn't find anything in the basement. No door, no bones, no room. Just dirt. But the chain, it was gone. They chalked it up to stress. Said I must have imagined it, but I didn't, because ever since that night, I see him. In windows. Reflections. Once, in the corner of my bedroom at 3:17 a.m. Always watching. Always smiling. And sometimes, I hear the sobbing again, coming from under the floor.